Yo, what is good, YouTube? Welcome back to another JC2K video. In today's video, I'm going to be making a video breaking down which card is more worth going for in NBA 2K24 MyTEAM between Kevin Garnett and HAKEEM Olajuwon, because realistically, both of these cards are very significant grinds, and in all honesty, you shouldn't be trying to get both of these cards. It just does not make sense for somebody who is normal and doesn't spend a ridiculous amount of time grinding this game and grind insanely hard and all that type of stuff. It's just not that reasonable to get both. I know there are people out there who will, but most people won't, and I'm sure I won't. So I think it's a decision a lot of people have to make is, are you going to try to play the different game modes, or are you going to just play the one and specialize for Pink Diamond HAKEEM? Before we hop into it and I tell y'all what I would do and explain why, I'd really appreciate it if y'all do hit that subscribe button. Help us push towards the 16,000 subscriber mark on the channel. I upload every single day, and I would really appreciate it if y'all do subscribe. With that being said, without further ado, let's hop right into it. So both of these cards are great. I want to preface that by saying that right now, as base cards, they are the best base power forward and best base center in the game. I would say, at least. Both of them can get every single badge. Both of them are very, very complete, very, very good cards in MyTEAM. So I will start by saying that either player is going to be an addition to your squad and a great addition, and to a certain extent, a large part of what should make your decision is what you enjoy playing. If you enjoy playing a variety of modes online, then go for KG. If you're an offline only type player and you don't want to play online, this HAKEEM is perfect for you because you can grind in triple threat or in clutch time offline. Although I will say the triple threat offline especially is an obscene amount of time. It's like, what, 1,000 games? That's absurd. 400 clutch offline is pretty ridiculous too, to be honest. So, and I think that's how many it is. So that's pretty insane. I will say I'm not a big fan of that, but regardless, that much time, the amount of time you're going to spend on those modes outside of probably triple threat, because I think triple threat is probably the longest mode. That's going to take a long time to do that many triple threat games. Even if you're able to get done with triple threat games like 20 an hour, you're looking at 20 hours to get the 20 hours. No, you're looking at 50 hours actually. So that's 4 or 5 hours a day for 2 weeks. Like, that's a significant grind for sure for the cards, and that's probably about the maximum that I would say it takes to get these cards. Both of them is about 50 hours. You can get them in probably a little less. I would say KG is right around that 50-hour mark. HAKEEM in some of the online modes can be a little less than that, but probably not a ton less for most people. I'd say HAKEEM's also going to be in that 50-hour range. So in terms of the amount of time that you spend on these grinds, in all honesty, it's really not that different. I mean, there is a difference probably to a certain extent depending on what mode you're grinding for on HAKEEM, but in general, I think you're probably not going to experience that big of a difference, to be completely honest, in how quickly you get the cards. So like I said, both of them are going to be very significant time commitments. So if you do decide to go for one of the time commitments, the question is which one is a better value. So you got a 6'11 power forward center, 7-foot power forward center, 7'3 wingspan, 7'2 wingspan. So HAKEEM is just a little bit bigger. Statistically, they're honestly relatively similar. As a shooters, they're honestly very similar. I like KG's release a little better than HAKEEM's. I will say that. Slight edge to KG as a shooter. Speed-wise, KG is more athletic, which I'm a fan of. HAKEEM has better strength. Dunking-wise, they're pretty similar. Probably slight edge to KG, post slight edge to HAKEEM. Got a little bigger player build as well. Defensively, honestly, they're very, very similar across the board defensively as well. These are very, very similar cards. Statistically, even rebounding-wise, I mean, KG has a noticeable advantage speed-wise, and that's really about it, but I wouldn't say it's a huge advantage. I mean, the +8 plays field ball, +7 excel, +10 vertical is nice, but not huge statistical differences. Badge-wise, KG is going to give you a little bit more of the athleticism, dunking stuff. HAKEEM gives you more of the post-up stuff. Defensively, a little more versatile KG, I would say, with the overall badges, and obviously a little more complete on the base card. But again, you can upgrade badges on HAKEEM as well if you would like to. Same thing with the shooting badges on both of these cards. Can upgrade things to HOF or to gold or whatever. Add badges like catch and shoot, or I guess they don't need those, but limitless range and things of that nature. Playmaking badges, they want like a blockable and speed booster. Like, you can do a lot of stuff with these cards to make them better. And again, when you look at the stats, like, they're really close. So I guess the question at that point becomes longevity and flexibility, because I guess both cards can play power forward or center. I think HAKEEM is better suited for the center position than KG is, just because of his player build. And I think defensively, KG is just a little more versatile. The speed helps him out a little bit. And I think he's probably a little better suited for the power forward position. So that's another thing that can help you make your decision, is depending on which position you feel like you need. But I'm also looking towards the near future. And when you you think about the power forward position, who are the guys who are generally the top tier, most elite power forwards? It's guys like Giannis, KD, LeBron, all of whom have cards. And yes, I'm certain we will be getting more good power forwards throughout this season. And by the end of the season, there will probably be a better power forward than Kevin Garnett. But when I look at the center position, and this is really the main reason that I say this, when I look at the center position, look who hasn't come already at the center position. Kristaps Porzingis, David Robinson, potentially Yao Ming, potentially Victor Wembanyama. Like, I don't think we're going to get a Yao in the near future. I'm hoping not, honestly hoping no Wemby either. But a KP and a D-Rob, both of those cards are probably coming this season. And Pink Diamond Kristaps Porzingis, Pink Diamond David Robinson, like, that's the best center in the game. I think there is 100% a chance that next Friday, with what they're calling the winter event, which is basically, in my opinion, almost certainly going to be a big set that locks in for Pink Diamond Kobe at the end of it. One of the initial lock-ins for that Kobe is going to be a big, very potentially a center that is better than HAKEEM at the center position. So my thing is, I think longevity-wise, you're more likely to get a little bit more value out of KG, but like I said as well, they're very, very similar cards. So again, in a lot of ways, probably honestly the biggest deciding factor for most people is going to be one of two things: personal preference between the two players, or specifically just a preference on modes. If you really like to play more variety and get a little bit more of a different mix-up of the game and you're more of an online player versus more of the offline player who wants to just get the card without having to get into every single mode, or even an online player who wants to do that. Like, if you don't want to play triple threat offline, clutch time offline, you don't enjoy that stuff, you want to go grind unlimited or clutch online or whatever the mode may be, co-op, like, that's an option. I like the flexibility of the HAKEEM grind, but I think the KG grind can be honestly pretty cool as well, maybe a little more rewarding in certain areas, just in overall rewards potentially outside of the actual specific grind. So that's another thing that can be a little bit, you might make more MT grinding for KG than you do grinding for HAKEEM, I will say that, but probably not by a significant amount or anything. As a whole, again, at the end of the day, these cards, they're both power forward centers, they're very similar cards. It does come down to preference. It really does. Like, I don't want to sit here and tell y'all one of these guys is a must-have and one of them isn't, because it's simply not that. That's not true, and I don't want to click the video or anything. But I would lean KG, personally. If I was going to be going for these cards, I haven't decided if I'm going to or not, but I would lean KG. I just think the viability of the card is probably a little better. I like the release a little more. I think the speed advantage is nice. I think the power forward position could use the upgrade a little more, and I think he's better at power forward. So for me personally, I lean KG. That is just my opinion, though, as I said, and I just thought I'd share my opinion because I've gotten a few comments and stuff on people asking this type of question already, and video suggestions and stuff. I had a guy on Twitter DM me actually a pretty similar video suggestion about this, so shout out to him. Appreciate that. That kind of spurred this video on. But I will say that is going to do it for this one. I hope y'all did enjoy. Let me know who y'all are grinding for this season, if anybody. And if you do enjoy the video, make sure you hit that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. I'll be back with more 2K content very, very soon, and I appreciate y'all. Peace.